It's time for Mornings at 8 with Jonathan Mark on AM 1480 WLEA.
Well, yes, it is time for Mornings at 8, and here we are, 5 minutes after 8 o'clock on a Thursday morning. Thursday, practically Friday, one more little day, and here's the weekend. Yahoo! Man, it is cold. I left the house this morning in Almond at 1 degree. That was pretty cold. I mean, it doesn't really get much colder than that, you know? I mean, 1 little degree. And the last 2 days, we had between 10 and 12 inches of snow. So it wasn't a really bad, respectable, I think, but it wasn't, really bad. It was like, average, and an average, nasty little storm. So that's it. Now, Brian, boy, the newsmaker is going to be really good this morning. You have Eric Griffith, always a good guest, really knowledgeable guy, and Bill O'Reilly.
Yes.
Boy, that is really going to be a very, very good show, I'm sure.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Eric Griffith, he worked here at the station a long time ago.
In high school.
In high school. That was a while ago. And it was on his recommendation, by the way, that my wife and I, we changed our printer.
That wouldn't have been in the 1980s, though.
No, he was on a newsmaker sometime early this year. And he works for PC Magazine, I think.
PCMag.com, yeah.
Right, yeah. And he said that the best printer out there is a Brother. The brand name, a printer. We had an HP, a Hewlett Packard, which was okay, But this Brother, on his recommendation, we got it. And it is so much better and
fast.
So much more efficient. Yeah, it's fast. So, he's always a good guest. You'll probably learn of something. And Bill O'Reilly, it goes without saying, that will be a good interview. Well, let me see now. They got their wish. That's right, they got their wish. They got their Christmas present just a little early. The House has impeached President Trump. So my only question is, what took them so long? I mean, they were planning this since before he was elected. And it took them about 3 years? Really? You'd think it would have come a whole bunch quicker than this. But anyway, they were planning this for a long time, and it finally came about, and there we are. And so now what? Well, let me see. The articles of impeachment go to the Senate, where trial will be held, and just as it was foreordained that the House would impeach Trump, the Senate will not find him guilty of anything. And so the question is, what's this whole thing been about? I mean, what has been the point? I don't understand. You knew the House was going to do what it did. You know the Senate is going to do what it's going to do. So I don't understand what this whole thing is about. I mean, really, the whole thing has been a sham. It really is. Maybe you hate Trump. Maybe just hate his guts. But the whole process here has really been a sham. And it is. And, as I've said before, I think there are two Americas existing in the same space at the same time. And that's what's causing all this trouble. And one is kind of superimposed on the other. And the problem here, there's no middle ground anymore. There's no compromise. There's no meaningful, productive dialogue. I mean, it just goes on. And when he is elected, again, he will be reelected, it'll just go on another 4 years. So I don't know about all this, but there we go. Well, let me see. This is Thursday. Christmas is less than a week away. It's this coming Wednesday is Christmas. And you think, let me see, this year Christmas comes on a Wednesday. And a week later, on a Wednesday, there's New Year's Day. So you have a big major holiday right smack in the middle of the week. And the following week, there's a big major holiday right smack in the middle of the week. So my guess is nothing will be accomplished. For 2 weeks, everybody's going to be in a holiday mode or mood or something. So nothing will be accomplished. Because you have 2 days and then a holiday, and 2 days and then the weekend, and 2 days and a holiday, and 2 days and the weekend, and nothing's going to be done. Which really, when you think of it, probably is not really a bad idea. I mean, it's not a bad idea. Maybe everybody needs a break. Everybody's got to take a deep breath and just reconsider a whole bunch of things. So maybe this 2-week break for the entire country is coming at an ideal, opportune time. Maybe everybody just sort of the expression, or at least it was, chill. Just take a break, take a deep breath, and enjoy 2 weeks. Okay, now normally I don't do this day in history. I leave it to the experts, our historians, Dr. Gary Ostrower and Dr. Nick Waddy. But this morning there were two events. And one is kind of interesting. It was on this day in 1998 that Clinton was impeached. So is this going to be a habit now or something? Every 21 years you impeach your president? I don't know. Anyway, so Clinton was impeached on this day in 1998. And what were the charges? Lying to a federal grand jury, lying under oath to a federal grand jury, and obstructing justice. So that's why he was impeached. And then Trump was impeached yesterday. I don't know. It's kind of weird. And then, speaking of Christmas, it was on this date in 1843 that Charles Dickens published A Christmas Carol. One of the best stories ever written, I'm sure. And I've seen, we've all seen how many versions of A Christmas Carol on TV or movies or, whatever. And the original story, if you've ever read the original story, it's dark, it's bleak, it's kind of frightening. And it was a blistering indictment of working conditions in the 1840s and 1830s in England. And it was a really dark, dense piece of writing. And the versions we see now on TV, they're like cartoon-like. And they're sanitized, and they're cleaned up a whole bunch. So you have this kind of a wimpy-type version of A Christmas Carol, but the original story is pretty dark. And there have been so many versions done, movies over the years, including, remember, there was Mr. Magoo, I think, that did a cartoon version A Christmas Carol, which doesn't really make it, In my book, the best version movie of A Christmas Carol came out in 1938. 1938, starred Reginald Owens. And it really kind of halfway captured, it's literally dark. It's very noir. It's black and white. The whole mood is dark and gloomy, which in fact the original book was, So that's really the best version. There was one, can't think of his name.
Alistair Sim.
Alistair Sim, that's right. The early 1950s. And that too was an English film. And that's the one, that really is a good version of it. Not quite as dark and gloomy and true to form as the first one was in 1938, but it's really a good version. Alistair Sim. Okay, that takes care of that. And there was...
I just can't help it.
Scrooge was better than his word.
Oh, yeah. And at the end of the movie, it's just, when he wakes up, finally, after the third spirit comes, his enthusiasm, he's totally manic because he's so happy. And it's so well done. It's so well done. Okay, fine. There we go. And what else have we here? We have that. We have this. And we go to... Oh, yes. Meanwhile, back in the real world, the governor wants to investigate the potential benefits of importing prescription drugs from Canada. Now, as we all know, prescription drugs are pretty darn expensive. They are really, really expensive. So he wants to investigate the possibility of importing prescription drugs from Canada. And he also wants to cap insulin co-payments at $100 a month for people who are insured. And he also wants the State Department of Financial Services to investigate spikes in prescription drug prices. And that's going to be one of his things that he rolls out during his 2020 State of the State address, which is coming up next month in just a couple of weeks. And this is kind of odd, because you wouldn't think that Governor Cuomo and President Trump would be on the same page on any issue at all, ever, but they are. So they are on the same page. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration published drafted rules that, if given the okay, would permit certain drugs to be imported from Canada. Now, President Trump tackle the problem of rising drug prices in the 2016 election campaign. But so far, nothing's really been done because any plan he has not gotten approval from federal regulators. So a 2003 law would allow Canadian prescription drug imports should the Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services be able to prove costs would be lowered at no compromise to the American public's health and safety. But so far, no chief of the Department of Health and Human Services has signed off on it. So anyway, but at least there's an effort being made. Okay, so that I think would be a good thing for many, many people. And what else have we here? Well, let me see. Christmas. The nativity scene. You wouldn't think that a nativity scene would be the center of so much controversy. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, boy. This nativity scenes, man, they are really the center of a whole bunch of controversy. Let me see. Courthouse, I got this from, where did I get this? On Fox News. Courthouse lawn nativity scene brings controversy to Ohio or Iowa City after removal. Okay. A southern Iowa City has come under fire for moving a courthouse lawn nativity scene. Angry residents packed a raucous Centerville City Council meeting Monday night to say their Christian values were under attack and to demand that the nativity scenes return to the Appanoose County Courthouse. And one of the residents of the town told the council, "I feel like the council members that were involved in this, that did have a say, were cowards." So this lady was nearly ejected after becoming confrontational over a nativity scene. Now, the nativity scene, which went on display at the courthouse on November 18th, was removed December 9th after city officials got a complaint about having a religious display on government property. Blah, 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 blah. You know, we've heard it so many times. Give me a break. It was shipped 2 blocks away to a private lot near a church. So, so after it was shipped to a private lot, these residents were complaining. How can that happen? Why don't you just leave it where it is? Well, so one resident, Bo Reeves, said at the meeting that he was an atheist and that he supported moving the nativity scene. He said, quote, "I shouldn't have to see baby Jesus on the courthouse lawn." Okay, anyway, the meeting ended without a vote on the matter by the city council, and it was listed on the meeting agenda as a discussion item only. So, I don't know. Why? What is it hurting? What is it hurting? Okay, fine. You think that's bad. Actually, that's nothing. In France, boy, I don't know about this. This I got from Breitbart. A group of around 50 far-left activists stormed a nativity play. They stormed a nativity play involving children, shouting at the children and telling them they were fascists. So these little children in a nativity play are accused of being fascist by these far-left, and may I add far-out, activists. A mob of leftist extremists interrupted the nativity play around 4 o'clock at the, oh boy, I don't speak French, anyway, some school, and yelled, "Stop the fascists," along with, quote, "We are the anti-capitalists," and a torrent of insults toward the young children and the organizers. As the young children became frightened, the nativity play was shut down a full 2 hours ahead of schedule and only an hour after it had started. So these little kids are in a nativity scene play. And these nut jobs are harassing them. And there was also a mayor of a town, the Bégère, that sounds right. The mayor of the Bégère has been told by a French court to permanently take down a nativity scene from the city hall. So this stuff is not just limited to the United States, okay? This, right. But to just harass these little children at a nativity play? Okay, fine. We have to have something positive here. Is there something? Oh, yes, there is. Good news this morning. You remember the Far Side cartoon by Gary Larson? It ran from, 1980 to 1995. And in 1995, Gary Larson said, "That's it. I'm through. I think I'm hanging up my pens, and that's it. No more cartoons." Well, I did mention a number of months ago that Gary Larson was thinking of coming back. And indeed, he has. He has launched a website called thefarside.com. Oddly enough, right? Thefarside.com. And it's on the 40th anniversary of the strip, as a matter of fact, and it will periodically post new comics from Larson starting in 2020. So Gary, The Far Side is, I think, probably in the top 3 of the best maybe it's the best ever. Yeah, it just might be. If not, it's certainly in the top 3, I guess. Anyway, the best cartoon ever. And they had, you could buy T-shirts and all kinds of merchandise, cups, glasses, T-shirts, jackets, just all kinds, pens, ornaments, just all kinds of stuff. But boy, that was a really, really good cartoon. And he's coming back, thefarside.com. And he said that he was hesitant to embrace the internet because he doesn't trust it. Okay, fine. I can kind of see that. So he's not really crazy about the net, but he says, I really want to do it again, and that's really the best way to do it. So he's going to be on the net again, The Far Side. That definitely qualifies as good news. And how about this? Everybody needs insurance. I don't know how that ties in, but anyway, everybody needs insurance. I'll think of how it ties in later. You could do no better. You can do no better anywhere than contact the Ryan Agency. The Ryan Agency has offices in Hornell, Jasper, and Wellsville. They know what they're doing. They're insurance experts. I think I've said this in the past. Let me see. They have access to many insurance companies to find the best rates for you. They are experts. And they also take pride in being good community people. Okay? They live here. They know you. You know them. They've been here a long time. They support many of our local organizations. They support the local students and athletes. They appreciate dedication, teamwork, and hometown pride. They give back. They're really, really good people. You cannot go wrong by contacting the Ryan Agencies.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
News from the NFL, where the Jacksonville Jaguars fired Executive Vice President of Football Operations Tom Coughlin. The move came 2 days after the NFL Players Association warned players of potentially signing with the Jags because of excessive fines and player grievances. College football news, Oklahoma has reportedly suspended 3 players for failed drug tests. They include starting defensive end Ronnie Perkins, who will not be allowed to play in their playoff game against LSU. In NBA games of note, the Heat hand the 76ers their first home loss of the season, while also picking up their 20th win of the year with a 108-104 victory. Celtics down the Mavericks 109-103. Pelicans snap a 13-game losing skid with a 107-99 win over the Timberwolves, and the Raptors knock off the Pistons 112-99. Top 25 college basketball. 2 of the top 3 teams in the country were in action. They both won. Number 2 Gonzaga beat North Carolina 94-81. It was third-ranked Louisville posting a 70-46 win over Miami of Ohio.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Facebook will run its first ever Super Bowl commercial. It'll be a 60-second ad featuring Chris Rock and Sylvester Stallone, promoting its Groups feature. Some advertisers are paying more than $5.5 million for 30 seconds of commercial time, up from last year. China's Commerce Ministry says it is in close communication with the U.S. trade team on Phase 1 of the trade deal reached last week. After it is signed, they say details will be made public. Stocks were little changed yesterday. The impeachment vote was taken after the market close. Futures are higher this morning. Sweden's central bank has raised its key interest rate to 0. The move is an encouraging sign for the global economy. The Dow was down 27 yesterday. NASDAQ added 4. The S&P down a fraction. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola. Invested in you.
prescription products require an online physician consultation and are only available if the physician determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The expensive Little Blue pill is now generic, which means the prescription medication to treat ED is super affordable at 4hims.com. And now get your first online doctor's visit free at 4hims.com. That's right. Zero copay, no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. That's really good news. To start your free online visit, go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's FORHIMS.com/joy.
Today at the Simmons Rockwell Nissan stores in Horseheads and Hornell, you'll find new 2019 Nissan Sentra SV models with alloy wheels, cruise control, and Bluetooth for only $15,999, or new 2019 Nissan Titan S Crew Cab 4x4s with a 5.6-liter V8, rear view monitor, power windows, and cruise, now only $32,499. See the savings online at simmons-rockwell.com.
And we're back. You've heard of Alexa, of course, the Amazon virtual assistant. You know, you ask Alexa a question or something like, I don't know, where did I put my socks? Or Alexa, where did I go wrong with my life? Although I don't think that she engages in psychotherapy. Anyway, so you ask this Amazon thing and it answers. I don't know. Anyway, it has a new feature. So Alexa has a new feature, and it's meant to help families quit bickering during the holidays by changing the subject that everyone's talking about, according to a report which came out on Wednesday, which was yesterday. Research found that relatives are most prone to arguments at 6:30 p.m. on December 25th. Now, what would that be? December 25th is Christmas. That's right, 6:30 p.m., Christmas Day. So, Alexa has been programmed to jump in with questions that will spark less heated conversation, and that's according to Yahoo.com. When prompted, this is weird. When prompted, it will ask safe questions, such as, what would your superpower be and why? And is Die Hard a Christmas movie? This is what? The robot Peacemaker is also programmed to bring up inoffensive topics ranging from celebrity crushes to baked goods. To prompt the so-called distraction... This is unbelievable. To prompt the so-called distraction technique, simply say, Alexa, change the subject. Alrighty, money is the number one issue families fight about over the holidays, followed closely by what to watch on TV and being a sore loser during a Christmas game, according to a survey by Amazon. And never, what about politics? Okay, they totally overlooked that. Anyway, the arguments are most likely to break out between siblings or with mothers, according to the research. So the subject-changing feature is available on any device that has the Alexa voice assistant, including iPhone and Android. So this this thing will jump in to a conversation and change the topic. How is that even? That is some pretty weird stuff. And what else? Let me see. No. I'll save that until tomorrow. That's good. Sloppy gift wrapping may actually be beneficial, study shows. Researchers conducted a round of experiments to examine how the quality of a wrapping job affects the recipient's attitude toward the gift. Using the expectation disconfirmation theory, the group discovered that those immaculately wrapped presents don't necessarily make gift recipients any happier than their sloppy counterparts. And boy, that makes me feel good because I cannot wrap a package worth a hoot. As it turns out, when you receive a messily wrapped gift from a loved one, you get all the positive feelings and appreciate their effort rather than focusing as much on what's inside the box. On the other hand, when you get a gift that looks like Martha Stewart wrapped it, the gift inside doesn't always live up to its hype. So and there's a photograph here of a very, very poorly wrapped gift. Looks like I did it. I mean, this paper's all wadded up, ripped, with a bunch of tape on it. It looks like a 3-year-old did it. Probably worse than a 3-year-old would. Anyway, so being a sloppy gift wrapper is not necessarily a bad thing, and I think that is a good thing. Okay, that's it for this morning show, and I will see you tomorrow at 8:05. Bye.